You're listening to the Heart and Soul podcast with Kathryn Benko. I'm on a mission to celebrate breakthrough, empowerment, and shameless living in the lives of women everywhere. Join me and let's live unashamed together. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Heart and Soul. As promised last week, I am joined by Macy Cole for our annual first episode of the month. Let's talk about what our goals are for the year.
Yay!
Hey.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for asking me to do this.
We just talked for about 15 minutes before we recorded because we haven't talked in forever.
It's truly wild. I mean, what even is time though? Like now that I have a child and I think about you having two children, I don't understand. It's insane. Like mom life is the best, but it is a whole new thing.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
You have not been on the podcast since you had Sweet Callie.
that's right.
Tell us about motherhood.
Oh, I love it. Like she's such a dream. She's already 7 months, which is very bizarre. She's crawling around. My mom taught her how to say mama, and it's like my new favorite thing ever. And then she was saying this thing, I thought she was saying baba, but my mom kind of has a southern accent and she taught her baba. So she is baba, but it sounds like baba.
Cute. That's
And
precious.
she's got a lot of Troy's genes, so she's gonna be a tall girl. And she's definitely like she looks like a 9-month-old, but she's 7 months. It's really funny.
I get
She
it. I birthed a sumo wrestler in Coco. He is huge. And I'm not saying this as like a shameful way. Like she is the biggest 18-month-old I've ever seen. And she's dense. Like I just had to wrestle her into her nap. She's a sumo wrestler.
Oh my gosh, it's so wild. They like pop out their own little personality. Like I was just telling you, she sleeps on me at night. So I like sleep up against like a headboard all night. And that's how she sleeps. And that's how we've slept for 3 months now. Like,
Is your neck okay?
no,
Like,
I can't really turn to the left anymore. I have great mobility to the right, but like that's as far as it
yeah,
goes.
not as far. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see.
Yeah, but I don't even care because it's like I love her so much in the middle of the night, I just look down and she still does these, like, things that she did when she was a newborn, like, these weird, like, little stretches, and
Mm, newborn stretch is everything.
it's so good, and I don't even care, like, I think I'm sleeping, I don't really know, but I don't even care because I look down at night and I'm like, "I want it to be like this forever. I never want this to change." Like, there's gonna be days when I'm one day, like, I'll be happy if she just calls me, but right now she literally wants to, like, sleep on my chest. I'm like, "No problem. We will accommodate that."
So true. Michael and I have to remind ourselves of that whenever we're overwhelmed with like how needed we are at all times and how we're so sick of hearing mom and dad. We're like, one day they're just gonna not call us though. Like,
Yeah, I
hopefully they
can't
do,
even.
but like not every day. It's gonna
I can't think about it. I'm like, "No, she is gonna be my infant forever." That's what I hope.
they do remain very dependent on you for a while, so you've got time. William is still very dependent on us, and he's 4. So
Perfect. Okay,
yeah, you got years to go.
good. That's what I wanna hear.
So what would you say I'm gonna ask my birthday questions, but in terms of motherhood. What would you say you learned the most in this first 7 months of motherhood?
Oh my gosh. I would say probably, like, boundaries and priorities because she is, like, my number 1 priority. I'm obsessed with her, but I also run a business, and I'm also a wife and a daughter and a friend, and I think prior to having children, like, I could stretch myself really thin and be a lot more things to a lot more people, whereas now that's just not possible, and so I've learned like how to or I'm in the process of learning how to prioritize what I commit myself to based on what the priorities are, and then trying to maintain healthy boundaries around those priorities is probably the number one thing I've learned.
And doesn't it give you so much more empathy for your mom friends who you used to get, like, frustrated with when you weren't a mom of, like, "I never see them anymore," or, "I they don't ever text me back." Like, it's like you're like, "Oh, I get it. You're, like, so tied up." And, like, I'm not your number 1 anymore, and I shouldn't be.
Right. It's just it makes I feel like I've entered an alternate reality where, like, time doesn't make sense anymore. I don't even feel in my body half the time. Like, it's just this whole new way of living that, like, it almost feels like who I was prior to being a mom and who I am now are, like, in different dimensions, not even, like, different lives, like, different literal dimensions, and it's just given me a lot of perspective and a lot of respect for every parent, um, and yeah, it's not easy, but it's, like, the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's really not easy. It's the hardest thing ever.
Yeah.
What's something that you hope to grow in as a mother moving forward?
Um, a lot of it like, a lot of this stuff is more practical, which is interesting, like, I hope what I want to grow in are, like, traditions and routines. So, I really want, like, the house to be clean. I really want to be able to cook dinner for the family every night. I really wanna have, like, okay, on Fridays, we go out and we get pizza. Like, just organizing my life in a way where it's like, when I get to be mom, I'm all in on mom. When I am business owner, I'm all in on business owner. And then we come up with these really sweet family traditions and routines that fit in those different boxes.
Totally. You'll find your rhythm too. Like infants, when you're 0 to 12 months or when they're 0 to 12 months, it's truly just learning your child and survival mode. And then once you're like they're growing up a little bit, they're like 2, you kind of just get your new rhythm and your new routine. And you do start to form those little traditions. Like we do pizza every Friday night.
You do?
Yeah.
That's so cute. I didn't even know that. Well, see, that's when I wanna get to that.
It took us a minute though to find these rhythms, and we're still learning them. Like we got into a really bad rhythm over holiday break, and like no shame because I'm all about TV time. But like we were just so exhausted. These kids were here all the time. Same with the summer. It's happened in summer. It was just like I don't know what to do with them. Put the TV on, and then and then we were starting to do that like before bed. Like we would put Coco down, and then we still had, like, 45 minutes till William went to bed, and we would just, like, let him watch TV in our laps, and it's sweet moments, but, like, we just had to order, like, a little kid's devotional so that we had, like, a new routine to add in for the
Mhm.
evenings, like, we have to do 10 minutes of reading with William, and then he can watch TV, like, something that's, like, more productive, and you just have to give yourself grace through all the seasons.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh my gosh, of course. But,
'Cause
like,
I'm
look
sure in the summer again, he'll be watching, like, Bluey for 45 minutes before bed because I'm just trying to literally live again.
well, yeah, and it's also gonna be light out until, like, 10 PM.
I know, I hate that.
It's
I
weird.
hate that. It's so funny because like, before I had kids, I was like, "Oh my god, summer forever," and now I'm like, I kinda like when it gets dark at, like, 6 o'clock. Like, 5 o'clock even, I'm fine with. Like, I'm already spent, it's not like I'm doing anything. Oh my gosh. Well, every year, Macy and I pick a word,
Mhm.
and I we're gonna talk about our words today. I really struggled to find a word this year.
2. It was the first year ever.
Me too,
I
and I
actually
still
a lot
like,
of
I'll
people
say
said
what I
that.
think it is, but I'm, like, open to it changing, if you know what I mean.
A lot of people have said that this year, which is interesting. I always know my word, like, 2 weeks before the year starts, and, like, it's, like, cemented in,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but that wasn't the case this year for me.
I think it's because I could never get my head above water to know how I was or what I needed this year. Like,
Mm.
I was just, like, truly survival mode, and I
Mhm.
think I will be like that for a while, so I need to get used to that and, like, be okay with that. I just, like it's like I almost stopped thinking about me, which is not good, for too long that I was like, "Wait, what do I need? What do I
Mhm.
want for 2026?" I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
I kinda just black out every day. Michael and
Yeah.
I Michael and I met on Friday at his office or his co-working space to do, like, a business meeting for our family, and we went through, like, vision planning for the year and, like yeah, there was, like, this one we followed this prompt, and there was, like, this one section that was, like, observations from the previous year, and Michael typed into it because like, his font was blue and mine was pink, and, like, he typed into it, "Kathryn is stressed." That was the only observation he had. And I was like, "Oh, you picked up on that?"
Gosh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
So, like but it was good because then we were like, "Okay, how can we unstress you? Like, what can we implement that, like, this year that makes you less stressed or gives you, like, peaks of, relief?" And that's kinda what made me think of my word.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll talk about my word, and then I know you'll take us to church, so I'll let you finish. Um, okay, so at first I was like, "Okay, I'm stressed, clearly, I'm overwhelmed. I need to, like, release control because like, I don't have control,
Mhm.
and none of us really do." But I remember I would love to control, and so I was like, "Maybe my word should be release." And then I was, like, talking on the phone with my brother last weekend, and I told him that. He was like, "I don't know, it kinda just sounds, like, a little sexual."
I
And I was like,
wouldn't say
"You're
that kind.
disgusting."
Yeah, wow.
He was like, "Can you do, like, let go?" And
That's 2
like
words.
I'm like, "That is 2 words, it's my 1 word." Literally, that's what I said. So then I was like, "What about surrender?" Surrender's, like, the same thing, right? Like, surrender, control. So I think I'm kind of deciding on surrender.
I think that's great, and I actually know of 2 other people just this year that that is their 1 word.
Mm.
I think it's a great one.
I need to release control. Need to l stop trying to play, like, the puppeteer of our family's lives. Like, even little things like, uh something that would, like, lighten my load is, like, I get really prideful at the end of the day when, like, Michael gets home and he's like, "Go take 30 minutes for yourself. Like, go like, I got the kids. Go lay down." It's not pr I don't know if it's pride or if it's, like, fear of him feeling overwhelmed, but I'm like, "No, no, no. I got this. Like, I'm here to help you. Like, let me keep pouring." Like, I just can't step out of a situation, but I think that's a little bit of me trying to control and a little bit of, like, fear of what if he has a hard night and
Yeah, well, and,
I
like
just had a hard day, you know? I don't want him to be upset.
right, one word that came up and, like, who knows, but, like, relinquish is kind of like release and surrender, but it's like when you relinquish something, it's like your hands are just, like,
Yeah,
dropping. So,
that's a
that
good one.
came to mind, but yeah, I think that's a very fair thing to feel, with your husband is like, "This is my responsibility, and you've had a long day too, so shouldn't you have 30 minutes, this, and that?"
And it's, like, so minor. That's, like, a minor example. It gets more major in other situations, like, not being able to, like, truly, like, um, like, be undistracted with God. Like, I'm having my quiet time, using air quotes, but I'm also planning William's dentist appointment, and I'm planning the babysitter for tomorrow night, and, like, at the same time, so it's like, I need to surrender things that are like, yes, they're in my control, but they're not necessary in that instance for me to, like, hold on to. I've become such a, like well, I've always been a control freak, but I've become such a, like, multi-tabs open in my brain person
Yep.
that it's hard for me to focus on, like, what's
Mhm.
actually important.
That's just motherhood, like, I have twice this week, I didn't go to bed even though my child sleeps on my literal chest, till 2:30 AM because I just had so many tabs open and I'm like, "I gotta do this and this and this and this," and I'm, like, just doing it in the few hours that I could. One thing that helped me is I, like, finally got a planner and just now, if it's in my head, I put it down on the planner so that it can live somewhere because I think I keep these tabs open because 'cause I'm afraid I'm gonna forget one of them.
Right.
But if it, like, goes and lives somewhere that I can trust that I wrote down what I need to do later, then I can, like, pull it out of my head because it's in a trusted spot. That's, like, a strategy I've been implementing that is hopefully gonna help in the long ti term.
That's really good. One thing, like, I like strategy. I like tangible ways to overcome something, and one thing I really liked about what Michael and I did on Friday, like, that whole template we followed is, like, you do your observations, and then after that, you do this, like, and not just observations about your partner, but, like, how your family's operating, your rhythms, your businesses, like, what have we observed that we wanna, like, change in the next year? And then you do this, like, sticky note thing where you write down each of you, like, without talking, you just write down ideas to change those problems in 2026, like things you can do. So, like, one of mine was like, I feel last year I just felt so stretched then that I didn't get to, I felt like I lost the opportunities to individually get to know my children. So I would like to do like one of my sticky notes things was like a one-on-one date a month, like,
Hmm.
little things like that. So you write down all whatever idea it is. Like, we also need more money for childcare. So one of mine was like, budget this so that we can pay this, pay our nanny to come
Mhm.
more often or whatever. Um, and then you put it on the board on one side, and then you read them together and you put them in a yes, no, or maybe category. Like, you move them over to different categories so that it feels like a tangible thing that you can fix as a partnership. Like, "Oh, you want one-on-one dates? Okay, we can make that work. We just gotta get our nanny here 1 Wednesday a week. Let's put it on the schedule." You get on your calendar, you do that, and then you move it to the yes category.
This is so good. Will you like, what I
Yeah.
please send this to Troy and I after. Y'all are so good at finding the most epic frameworks.
I would love to say that we found this, but our friend sent it to us.
It's
So,
so good.
shout out to the Smith family. They sent it to us.
Well, we want it next.
Okay. But I don't know why I was saying that. I like tangible ways to, like,
Mhm.
be able to address things because, like, in theory, having a word is cool, but if you're not actually, like, putting it into practice, then it's just a word.
Yeah. Well, and, like, what I found I remember one of my friends had opened her business, like, 2 or 3 years ago, and she was like, "We're n almost 9 years in business as of February," and she was like, "Do you find that it gets easier?" And I was like, "That's an interesting question. I wouldn't say that it gets easier. In a lot of ways, it gets more complicated." Similar to, like, parenthood or even your house, like, the longer you are with something, the more you have the opportunity to, like, peel back all the imperfections and want to, like, fix and things add, and it almost starts to get complicated. So I'm like, the longer something goes on, the more strategies you need to just try and maintain its simplicity. And I'm noticing that with our house, like, I mean, Troy and I have been together since 2012, and so, like, the things that we've accumulated together are just sitting in all these different areas of the house, and I find myself stressed about how messy the house is and wanting to clean the house, and I'm like, "But I don't wanna waste time cleaning the house," so I'm just getting rid of all the stuff.
Girl, I love to purge. I'll pick a
Yeah.
room one day, and I'm just like, "Everything that I don't use in this room is gonna be gone.
No.
Has to
And
go."
I just think that, like, being a mother, that's, like, the mindset that I wanna keep, is, like, being a business owner is really important. What we've built, we have to maintain, and we want to maintain it, and then being a mother is really important, and how do I watch out, Nadia. How do I keep both of these really important areas of my life simple and streamlined so that I can just enjoy my life?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
things have to be complicated, and why and in order for things to be simple, you have to find mastery. Like, just like people are like, "Oh, we'll just delegate." And I'm like, you have to even know how to tell someone what
What
to
to do.
do to even delegate. So, like, even delegation in and of itself is like a skill. But I think once you become a parent, you don't have the option of letting those things slide anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're a wife, you're a mother, you're a business owner, you're a coach. Like, you have to show up in all these different ways, and you need to show up well because it matters to you. And so these strategies that you and Michael are doing are so important because it basically, like, sets, again, boundaries around the roles that are important to you and how you wanna show up in them.
Yeah, for sure, and it gets your partner on the same page
Mhm.
so that your schedules can align. When you
Mhm,
bring it up again one day, you're like, "Well, remember we talked about this?" It's like, "Yeah, oh, yeah, we did."
mhm,
It's nice to have someone who's, like, on your team too.
mhm,
And I think being a business owner prior to being a mother, I didn't realize it till you just said that, is, like, kind of like great research for motherhood. Like, being able to
mhm,
manage a business
mhm,
really, like, feeds into managing a home when you're a parent.
mhm, but the hard thing is, like, you don't just clock in and out.
Yes,
So,
that is the
like
hardest part. That is the
yeah,
hardest part.
like, what I'm finding right now is, like, before we had kids, we were like, "Okay, let's not let the business bleed into our marriage." Well, now it's like, let's not let the business bleed into our parenthood, where even is time for the marriage,
Yeah.
And so it just it is one of those things where you have to set buckets and within those buckets, like, clear defined times for said bucket. Like, right now I'm gonna be a business owner, right now I'm gonna be a mom, right now I'm gonna be a wife, right now I'm gonna be a friend. And I'm really in a place in my life where I wanna come up with strategies and frameworks to set a life that like, a bartender's doing a lot, but once they know how to do all the drinks, like, they're just having fun with it. So it's like, I don't
That's
want
true, that's a good
less
analogy.
things to do. I just wanna get really good at juggling it all because I have frameworks for them all.
I love that analogy.
Mhm.
You're just a bartender in your
Yeah,
own
I'm just trying to
way,
be a bartender, gosh.
tending to your life.
And drinks.
Just literally give me a cocktail, and it'll fix everything.
Maybe that's our one word this year,
Cocktail.
bartender.
Ugh,
Cocktail, yeah.
cocktail. Okay, well, since you already took us to church, keep going. What's your word for the year?
Oh, man, so I went through, like, 50 of them. Like, at first, I thought it was intentional. Then I thought it was centered. Then I was trying to take Troy's for a while, which was
What
like,
what was
um
his?
his was so like, sanctified or, like, something, like, really good like that. And then mine finally landed on me, and it's not even what I did not want this word. Like, I did not want this word, and I didn't want my word last year. But it's holy, and holy means to be set apart, and the only way I can learn that is by spending time with God, which is the number 1 bucket I have neglected literally since I became pregnant, and my baby is 7 months old. And I just think that there was a lot of different things happen last year that were, like, on opposite extremes, like, some of the hardest moments that I've been through in a while, and then obviously some of the best moments that I've been through. And I think that my pregnancy, there was, like, a couple things that, like, felt really scary, and I just felt out of control, and for the first time ever, I, like, found myself a little bit, like, angry with God at some points or, like, wrestling with God and almost, like, not making time with Him on purpose, which was, like, I've just never been through that before, and so I realized, like, this year, God's gonna be the center. So, like, for our leadership meetings, which we have every Monday with our team, we start in prayer. And, like, even not everyone in that room is a believer. And so we've, like, made sure, like, "Are you comfortable with this? But this is our faith, and, like, this is the foundation of emotion, and so this is how we're, like, gonna kick these meetings off." And they respect it. But I'm like, "What would my life look like December of 2026 if I genuinely dedicated an entire year to God?" Like, not trying to figure out anything other than keeping him at the center.
Yeah, it would be epic.
It's already like, my life has already transformed in the craziest way, and, like, I've only done, like, 2 or 3 quiet times with God, and it's, like, literally the 12th, you know what I mean? So it's not even, like, that much, but, like, I'm just at night, like, I pray and I'm, like, with God, and I'm trying to spend time with God, I'm trying to give things to God, but I've had Hashimoto, and it's been, like, debilitating for a while now, and I literally have so much energy just being with God, and, like, we got into a kinship group, we go every single Wednesday, we've been making time for church, like, the way that God is showing up in my life like, kinda going back to the surrender idea, like, I'm such a control freak, and when I put God at the center, I don't even have a need to control, I literally feel like I'm just being, like, held and, like, taken different places throughout the day.
And, like, that's kind of the point of why he says too, surrender to him
Yeah.
because we can't control it.
Mm-mm.
And his plans and ways are always better and more divine than ours.
Mhm. Mhm. And being a mother has really helped me trust the way that God loves me because I will do anything for Callie. And when she's struggling, like, I just want her to relinquish the territories that I can help her with. Um, and that's helped me really, like, understand how much God loves me and more.
Good is it's so sanctifying in that because you realize how much you love this baby and you would literally die for them, and then you think, "Oh, wait, someone already did that for me."
Yeah, with their child,
Yes,
which is even like, what?
crazy. Yeah, you imagine sending Callie to a cross.
Imagine sending Callie to a cross for Judas.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh. I just can't. I'm not there. I mean, like,
Well, we
he's
probably
real.
never will be this side of heaven because we still have humanity within us,
Yeah, my flesh is like, question mark, what? Like
but that's why sanctification's a
Yeah.
thing. I love that.
Mhm,
The only time I've ever been prophesied over, like, well, in a big way,
mhm.
was I was at a bar. Well,
Bartender, cocktail.
yeah, no, I was at Pete's Piano Bar in Dallas, Texas. I was, like, 23, and I was with this, like, group of people that were kinda just acting up, and I was, like, already feeling and some I knew and some I didn't, so I was kinda, like, stepping into the unknown, and I was kind of feeling just uncomfortable and, like, I don't really wanna be here, and I love Pete's Piano Bar, so it was just, like, weird, and this, older couple was, like, there on a date night sitting in a booth, and they came up to me and they're like, "You wanna come sit with us for a second?" And I was like, "Yeah, honestly, these people are kinda lame, so let's" Sure, and they were like, "We feel like God's telling you that you're set apart." And it's something I've always wanted to get tattooed on me
Gives me chills.
because even if that's not been prophesied over you, like those specific words, like it's important to read scripture and our identity is over and over and over again we are called holy and blameless. So even if no one prophesies that over you, it's what God says about you. So you should be set apart from the world. And it was like a really eye-opening experience for me of like, oh, I not only need to like believe or know that I'm holy, but, like, believe that I'm holy. Like,
Mhm,
I'm a holy child of God.
mhm,
That change when you believe that, it changes you. It changes how you operate throughout the day and
mhm.
everything. It changes everything.
Well, and, like, what I found is, like, there's a way to try and behave where you're being set apart. Like, I'm going to do this action so that I'm not like the world, versus being covered by the Holy Spirit, and all of a sudden, you're not even thinking about how to be set apart, you just are.
Yeah, and it's not in, like, a condemning way, it's not in, like, a judgy way, it's just like, "This is my identity."
Yeah, well, and it's like the reason why is, like, I become so in my flesh by the end of 2025. Like, I felt myself being like, feeling the sensation of resentment, feeling the sensation of bitterness, feeling the sensation of judgment. Like, sometimes when you feel like you've been wronged or hurt, then in your human or flesh side, that turns into all these different things that, like, you feel you feel like a victim kind of, which is just not a place that I like to sit in at all.
Mhm, and then
So
that's when you stop believing who you are and whose you are, you start believing what the enemy says about you, and it's
Yeah.
always gonna eat at your thought life. It's
Right,
always gonna start at your thought life.
right, and, it's like, for me, I want like, sometimes I can like, in my flesh, I can want justice, like, "Okay, this person or this situation has done a wrong thing, like, where is the vindication for that?" And one of the first church services that we went back to, the preacher was literally talking about people who think that they want justice. And it's like, if you really want justice, then none of us have the opportunity for salvation. Because justice is that we would all be separate from God because we sin every single day. And that was like such a powerful moment for me because it's like, I should not be sitting in the seat of justice. I need to be sitting in the seat of mercy and grace because that's what is constantly been given to me. And that's where I feel comfortable, like, that's my literal heart is, like, when somebody does something wrong or hurtful to me, and the first and, like, thing that I think of is, like, "Wow, they must really be hurting." Like, that's how I've spent most of my life, but I got so far from the word that it got to a place of, like, "Ow, that really hurt me," like, here's what they I hope that there's some type of balancing act here.
Yeah.
And when I get back so I know that, like, I'm far from God when I'm, like, victimizing myself because that's just not my natural response. And the second I got back close to God again, like, coming back home to my origin and faith is, like, all of that is just so silly and gone, and, like, the only thing left in my heart is, like, lightness, peace, and, compassion, like, coming
Right.
back to the feeling and sensation of compassion.
Mhm. And it's a constant renewing of your mind daily throughout the day. Like, by 3 PM every day, I am my flesh. I just, like, hate everyone, hate everything. I am, like, cussing at people on the road. I'm just, like, my flesh. So it's just, like, a constant renewal of your mind and, like, new daily mercies, new minute mercies,
Yeah.
and reminding yourself of what has already been done on the cross
Yep.
so that you can receive those new mercies.
Yeah.
It's already covered.
Right, and just realizing, like, it's okay to be human. Like, it's literally that's going to happen, and the more complicated and stressful that life becomes, like, the easier it is to fall into that, and I love the Lord's Prayer, like, "Our Father," it starts with that to remind us, like, He is our Father. Like, in the way that I'm Callie's mother, like, God is my Father. I can come to Him like a child who is in heaven, which means, like, He's above, He can see all the things. Holy is your name, like, you are set apart. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven is saying, like, let's bring heaven to earth so that we can proclaim your goodness. Give us this day our daily bread. We don't need to worry. We're going to be fed. And then this part has really been getting me is like, forgive me for my trespasses as I forgive those who trespass against me. Like that's in the Lord's Prayer because that's something that we wrestle with.
Yeah.
And so for as much as I am forgiven, I should forgive. And that's so easy to say, but, like, I literally want to feel that in my heart. Like, I want an offense to come, and my immediate response is not to take offense. My immediate response, even if it's, like, towards me and against me, is how can I create connection?
Mhm. So
And
good.
that's what I want holy to be,
Yeah.
is like,
The Lord's Prayer, if you don't know what to pray, just
oh,
pray that. We
it's
when we put
so good.
William down at night, we now separate, so Michael does it, but, like, if Michael's out of town, I do it. Um, we'll do, like, "What do you wanna pray for before you go to bed?" And if he has nothing to say, we just pray the Lord's Prayer.
'Cause
Like, if
it's
we can't
so
think of
good.
anything, you don't need to pray anything else.
No, because it's literally, like, unbelievably good, and it's how Jesus asked us to pray,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
it
he
covers
literally prayed it.
everything. Mhm.
It is the Lord's Prayer, apostrophe S.
Literally, like, that's so big, and
Yeah.
we just it's just really, like, trying to bring faith back in a real and tangible way. It's like I got to the peak of who I was as just Macy right before Callie, and then, like, hormonal shifts and just the process initiation of becoming a mother, like, while I was pregnant, going through hard times, I don't even know how to handle those situations because 'cause I'm becoming a new person.
Yeah.
And then, like, postpartum was really tough, and now I'm finally starting to feel like myself again, but even saying I feel like myself again, I'm still a new person that I'm
Yeah.
still getting to know.
Totally. And we will constantly be evolving like that.
Mhm.
We have to get to know new versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
knowing who you are before you get to know this new version is very important,
Yeah. But then
crucial. I always say this, like, I don't know how people do life without prayer.
and without God.
No, yeah, that's what I mean, like,
Or yeah.
without
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
God, like, someone to talk to.
Sorry, we're coordinating some stuff over here. Childcare is leaving, but Troy's here.
Oh, you're good. We're almost done anyway. Thanks, Troy.
Uh, um, but that's the other compassion piece is, like, I have, like, a close-knit family. I have an incredible husband. I know that the Lord loves me, and I still act sinful in flesh flesh forward at times.
100%.
So, like, when I'm in the presence of somebody that doesn't know how deeply they are loved or didn't come from a supportive family or doesn't have a supportive partnership or any of like, you just have to remember people are deeply suffering. That
Yeah,
is so sad. That's
yeah.
so sad, and they're acting out of that, and, it just when I'm in my flesh, that's hard to see, but when I'm in the spirit of the Lord, through no effort of my own, it's, like, so abundantly obvious.
Mhm. Because you have the mind of Christ.
Yeah, which is so crazy that we can wear that.
I
And
know.
why would I ever disconnect from it? That's, like, the big confusing part.
Because we're humans and we are I just can't imagine looking down from heaven as God and being like, "There she goes again." Gotta be just like every day, like, "That freaking idiot. We just got that right, and she's back." But, like, that's how we'll look at our kids one day of, like, they'll do this
Good.
they'll do the same mistake over and over again, and you're just like, "How do you not know?" But that's, like, God with us, but already paid for and with, like, unending grace and mercy for it.
But it's just frustrating. Like, how much easier could I make it on the enemy sometimes? I'm like, "Oh, I see your trap. Let me walk straight into it."
I love traps.
Yeah, all you have to do is put a block of cheese in the center, I'm there. Like,
Oh, if there's cheese, I'm there. Cheese and cocktails.
man, I have not had a cocktail since May yeah, since last May, like, when we were trying to get pregnant.
So, did you stop drinking when Callie came into the world?
Well, she sleeps on me, so you can't drink and
What
to
you got, like,
sleep.
a 5 PM glass of wine or something?
Mm-mm, you can't have anything because it interacts with your instincts to, like, know when to wake up with the child.
Wow, you're
Yeah.
better than I.
No. Well, if you were sleeping with a child on your chest, you would do the same thing.
Probably, yeah. Instead, I just turn a sound machine on and pretend like I can't hear them.
If that worked. Hers is mostly reflux, though.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
can't
every
win.
baby's different.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we've tried. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you try what you can, and then you just kinda
Do what they
let
need.
it be.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, this has been amazing.
I love it.
I love your word. I love you.
I love your word and I love you, and I'm so proud of you because, like, as a fellow control freak, surrender is a tough one.
Yeah, honestly, I'll circle back in a week, and I'll let you know how it's going.
Please. And please send
It
me
took
that.
me, like, what? We're almost 2 weeks into the year. I just decided this weekend. So, like, I just can't. Maybe I can't
Yeah,
surrender to surrender. Maybe I just need to surrender to the word surrender.
there you go.
Mm,
Well, and this originated from the lead pastor at Port City, Mike
yeah.
Ashcraft, who is the best, obsessed with them, love their church. And they just started a app called the Mirror app, specifically for the one word. And, like, yeah, you should download it, like, you put in your one word, and it's, like, daily journals, and it asks you questions about, like, how the day's going, and I think throughout the year, it kind of, like, shows you the way that the one word has, like, shaped throughout the year. It's really cool.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm
So
gonna download it.
yeah, it's called the Mirror app, and, I started like, they had, like, a trial one that I did. I haven't tried, like, the new one that they've just launched, like, on the actual app store, but I'm really excited about it because you can get to June and people just forget what their word is altogether, but if you're just doing, like, five-minute daily check-ins, it'll be really cool to just witness, like, what transpires over the course of 365 days.
I love that. That's such a great idea.
Yeah,
Brilliant. I love the
yeah.
Ashcraft.
Oh, me too.
Um, all right. Well, if you haven't picked your one word yet, listeners, maybe think of it. If you don't pick one words, maybe this is your first year. There's always a year
Highly
to start.
recommend.
Highly
Highly
recommend. It's way better than resolutions because resolutions fail within like a week. It just centers your mind on a theme.
mhm.
Um, and we all need centering. Macy, I love you.
I love you so much. Thank you so much. This has been amazing, and I am always so honored to be on here.
I love you, listeners, and I will talk to you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to Heart and Soul. If this episode encouraged you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you next week.